Hey guys, it's the Tin Man here. Little piece for you there. I'm just camera shy this morning, today. I just wanted to spread some great news that I just talked with a chap that just came out of the place where I grabbed a coffee here. No shout out to them because we can't make out their name. Anyways, yeah. First, we're in the restaurant here. He goes, looks at me. I look at him. He's a bearded guy, lumberjack jacket on and all this kind of stuff, where he looks like a tough working man. His name's Andy, by the way. And he goes, Tin Man. And I go, yeah. And he goes, and we just start talking. I think I asked him probably some whatever. We start talking. And my first vibes off of the chap were that he is not maybe sold on me, not maybe getting my stuff. One of the things that gave me that impression is just the way he was kind of smirking about the non-believers now, or the people who don't understand that there actually are Bigfoot out there. Sasquatch. So I think he was kind of smirking about that part of it. I was picking up the smirk that it was kind of directed towards me, and no offense, Andy, at all in your look, brother. It's just the way that I was reading it. Anyways, so we continued to talk there. So he also brought up the chemtrails. I'm not a supporter of the chemtrails because of, one theory that I float off of. Or, involved in the condensation part of it or whatever type thing. So and I don't even look into it. Don't even think about it more or anything like that. I don't need to. But I guess so I'm thinking when he threw that out, that about the chemtrails, that he's not much, again, he's kind of clowning a little bit. But in his talking a little bit, he claimed that he has heard about them, actually the government putting certain chemicals out there for a reason. I don't know, we didn't get into it. So he's heard of stuff. So he's expressing that he might have some faith in that stuff. He also comes from a field of working in a certain air industry for 15 years, where he was, in the helicopter industry is what it was. I was just keep trying to, I don't have his name or anything like that, so it's all good. He's still hidden away wherever he wants to be hidden away, sort of thing. Because not necessarily everybody wants to get people coming up to you and talking to you about the subject, maybe, like it just happened with me. Anyways, so we end up coming outside. We're standing in the rain, as you can hear this rain, same amount. And we're talking away, and all of a sudden I said to him, so you're a supporter? Actually, I think I said it inside the restaurant. I said, so you're a supporter of me? And he goes, yeah, like, in the end, this is what I ended up getting out of him, was he's been in the bush. He's done many different jobs. He was just naming off a few different things there where he's been in the logging roads. He has spoken with native elders. Different things like this. So he's gotten his feet wet, living. He probably hunts, probably fishes, who knows. He's at least portrays that character also. Anyways, so himself, because I went into one of my rock walls and I said, this retaining wall right up here, and they're breaking it apart there and they're stuffing them all in there or whatever type thing. And I'm saying, and he goes, you don't have to convince me, or something like that, I think is how that happened. Because that wall up here in our town here is continuing to drastically change. And the guy who built it, what's his name? Teagan Construction, Jason. he would say that is not his work. Somebody has come along and mucked on his work. 100%. He would first view on it. The guy's gonna go, huh? He's one of these guys that can be clueless to maybe wanting to look at little insufficient or insignificant retaining walls. So if he ever drives into his subdivision, that one that he built there, which he's got hundreds all over the place probably now, so it's like, what are the odds? Anyways, back to the subject there of Andy, and he made me feel so alive, man. So great, man. Like, and then I said, I pointed out one time, I said part there, I said about the bridges or whatever, and he's kind of, because he's seeing, that stretching, Tin Man, what are you talking about bridges? I see lots of tree stuff you kind of relate with. I see lots of rock stuff you relate with. I would, he said that I would, I think he might even said that I would probably click well with some of these elders, or not too sure, but he did bring up the elders a couple of times, like, in his own talking. Anyways, so now I'm going to jump, and so then we're parting ways. And I just said, here, I'll walk you towards your vehicle, because I wanted to finish off a little thing. He's one to get going to work. Anyways, what was it? So I said, I want you to know this. Those bridges out there, they are mucking around with the concrete on them and so on and so forth. And he's kind of like this sort of thing. And I go, put it this way. The way that I'm really sometimes seeing these guys from the heart, where, I've been looking at a lot of their work and what they're up to and so on and so forth. I said, lots of times, to me, they have a heart of an ant, where they're doing their job. This concrete's over there. There's rock in the concrete. They're just taking the concrete and the rock back, and they're putting it back. They're breaking the rock walls out of the retaining walls, and they're spreading them around. They use them back in the retaining wall. Sometimes they'll take a great big rock out of the retaining wall and put smaller rocks in that spot and take away that big rock. It might end up just in the bush right behind there. It might end up a couple of mountains away. I would not doubt it. I've seen some pretty huge rocks appear in some spots where, the muscle power is all over the place. It's not just a select few. Where I talk about in the city like this, guys, in a small town like this, and in the big cities, for where they come along and they want to take care of all their trees there and such, and our trees down further there and such, all the new ones. If you drove down this road, you see all this stuff that's shooting off of all these shooters? They will continue to grow out the winter. We're into freezing ground now. Our ground won't go major frozen, just so you know. It might even be letting off all the frost that's in there right now. But all those select new trees that we got going in there, there's one there, there's one on the other side there, and they just run the center of our street. It's a beautiful time. They're all pointing up. They're all sort of shaped in certain ways where they've come from the plant, from the gardener, of where these guys have already touched them, because those facilities are always opened. So they just go indoors, go around, go do whatever they feel like doing, and whatever size they send in to do it. Remember, that kind of stuff is part of the spooky stuff of it, is when we really figure out full sizes from what end to what end, and so on and so forth. But anyways, videotape your road down here, and then videotape it in 6 months, and then in 6 months, or take pictures or whatever type thing. And if you pay a special attention to one tree, and they start to recognize you as a person that's looking into their work, and you pay a special attention to one tree, that attention may affect the tree. Like, they might not be as aggressive on the tree. They might choose to be more aggressive on the tree because they're really trying to make a statement. Peace out, everybody. 10-minute video here. Thank you so much, Andy. You made my day and week, and he kind of gave me the message that your time is coming. And him saying that, helps so much, man. Peace out.